I've visited retirement homes with more energy than what was generated at the launch of the 2021 Acura Integra prototype yesterday. By the way, this is exactly what the production version will look like, minus maybe the yellow tailpipes. But you know what? I can see why the energy was so low. I watched the reveal live last night, and the second I saw the car, I was already ready to go and do something else. What a disappointment. What a missed opportunity here by Acura. Because when I think of an Acura Integra, this is what comes to mind: a small, nimble, sporty two-door coupe with a full-size wing on the back. And this 2021 Integra just isn't it. This looks like an ILX facelift. In fact, I think the ILX could work even better here as a new Integra, since it actually has more of a boot design in the rear. This could also be a new Hyundai Genesis Coupe, for example. It reminds me a lot of that when you look at it in the rear. The point is, there is zero Integra spirit in this design. It's just another Acura. More on the design in a minute when we jump into Photoshop and analyze this design to see if we can find some resemblance, some identity of the classic Integra in the front, side, and the rear of this new prototype here. So what's the spec and tank of the 2023 Integra? It'll be based on the same platform as the Civic Si, and it will also share the same 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged with a limited slip differential. There's no official power number yet for the Integra, but expect it to be around the same as a Civic, which means at least 200 horsepower. You also have the option of a 6-speed manual on an Acura here, and this is the first time we've seen a 6-speed manual since the ILX on an Acura. If you want more autonomy in your driving, there is of course an option for an automatic transmission as well. But if you're getting an Integra, would probably get the manual to get at least some feeling of the old way of driving an Integra if you're gonna buy this new one. All three past generations of the Integra have featured a two-door version. However, that will not be available for the 2023 model year, which is a huge mistake from Acura, because that's the version that people want when they think about an Acura. We have so many other hatchbacks and four-door sedans and what have you. If you're gonna design an Integra, make it look or make it feel like the old Integra, even though the base of buyers or the buyer's market for a small two-door coupe is a lot smaller than if you were to make it into a hatchback. But that's the problem here. If you're gonna do an Integra, make it a two-door, at least offer the option of a two-door, because that's the version that people who grew up with the old Integras would want to actually spend their money on now that they actually have some money. Doesn't matter how many neon colors you offer or stickers you slam on the side of the car, it's still just going to be a four-door hatchback based on this design right here. If you're interested in buying one, the 2023 Integra will go on sale next year with a starting price around $30,000. So it's probably pretty good value for your money. I just have a problem with slamming the name Acura Integra on this specific design. Other than that, it's probably a great car. I really don't care. With that said, let's jump into Photoshop and let's have a look at what's going on here with this design. So at the top, of course, is the new prototype, and as I said, this is going to look exactly like the production version. You can tell already that this is a production ready car. There is not a lot of conceptual things on this. Even the side mirrors look proper in size and everything. So this is definitely going to be exactly what the production car of the Integra will look like. Looking at it from this view right here, the first problem, as we said, is that it's a four-door. We need to remove this rear door here. I might do a redesign on this on the SketchMonkey channel. If I do, it's going to be up on the SketchMonkey channel. But what I would redesign here on the car is the rear doors. Need to remove that, make it into a two-door version, and then if you look at the proportions of the greenhouse and the hood, as I said, it's based on the Civic hatch, and you can definitely tell that it is, specifically when we look at the side view. This part right here is basically identical to the Civic hatchback, and that doesn't scream Integra to me. And also you have the greenhouse right here going up and sloping down here, and then just crashes in a very sharp angle down here. From this sharp angle, you have the hood sticking out almost at not a 90-degree angle, but a very sharp angle here from the A-pillar going stretching into the hood. And that's not something that we had in the original Acura Integra down here. We also are missing this little boot right here, and of course we need a wing here. Where's the wing? We need at least put a wing on this thing to make it even though it's not a functional wing, it doesn't really matter. It's just a fun car. It's got 200 horsepower. It's not gonna need any downforce in the rear, but just put a wing there in the back to have some fun with this design. This looks way way too serious for me to be a brand new Integra. It looks like an ILX Sportback or something like that. I'm missing this line that we have on this original Integra down here. It goes straight down from the tail lights right here, and then it goes straight down. We don't have a line like that right here. Totally different proportions on the new Integra prototype right here. Quickly want to show you the rear view as well, and this here you can see this looks like a Hyundai to me. Definitely a Genesis Coupe. This could be a facelift of the Genesis Coupe or something like that, but it's still a four-door hatchback. And look at these yellow tailpipes. A cool detail, I guess, but that's probably the only thing that's not going to make it into production. I would be surprised if they figure out a way to put these into production. I don't necessarily think it looks pretty good having body colored inside of the tailpipes. It's kind of an interesting design feature or graphic feature, but it just looks too heavy in the rear end compared to the original Integra down here. Look how nimble this is. It looks like it weighs half what this does, and it probably does. It just has this more nimble and sporty feel to it. This looks like it's bloated just to Hyundai or something like that. That doesn't really feel sporty or nimble at all. Looking at it specifically from this view, we can even make an ellipse like this and encapsulate the entire car by just drawing an ellipse, which we can't really do here because we have too much hood sticking out and we have too much boot sticking out right here as well. So what I would like to see here to fix this design is to simply give the people what they want when it comes to the Integra. Make it into a two-door version. Even though that's gonna drop the sales, you gotta be a little bit risk taker if you want to bring back the name Integra. You need to make it right and don't make it into one of these generic cars that every single manufacturer seems to be doing today, just bringing back old names, slapping it onto packages that they know are gonna sell to the masses when the original car wasn't in fact made to be sold to the masses. That's exactly what happened here. This is more of a niche car, and even though if the new Integra were to be a niche car with two doors and a funny little wing in the rear end, that's the only way that I would see the new Integra coming back. If they're gonna make it like this, then don't even bother bringing the name back. That's just my opinion. As you can see here, we have a very Civic hatchback type design here in line going with the roofline like this. What I want to see is more of a dip here, a clear designed boot, and also of course we need to put a massive wing on right here. Is it functional? As we said, it doesn't matter if it's functional or not. And I do want to see more of a rake here for this line right here, and more of a dip in the front hood, something like this, like we have right here. You can see that it dips, and then we have the lights on this surface right here, not sticking back so far. I know that's the current design language of Acura, but the thing is, with special models like this, if you bring them back, in my opinion, I don't think they necessarily need to have the current design language of the rest of the lineup when you bring back special models like this. I'd rather have them be more inspired by the old design than being in line with the current lineup, if that makes sense. To sum it up, I think Charles Bukowski put it best. He said that if you're going to try, go all the way, otherwise don't even start.